Hello everyone, it's SpiritBuddy, and today I'm going to be interviewing a video game developer by the name of Ameidex, and he's working on a game called The Land of the Spirits. Here's how the interview went. Check it out. Hey everyone, Spirit here. Today I have the pleasure speaking with Ameidex. He's currently it's currently working on a game called The Land of the Spirits. How you feeling today? How's everything going?
I'm great.
So basically, I looked at your Steam trailer for the game, and by the looks of the game, the aesthetics kind of remind me of Shovel Knight, and I'm guessing you had some inspirations from Zelda. Did you have some inspiration from Zelda?
Also, although my main inspirations are like The Binding of Isaac and Hollow Knight.
Ooh, Hollow Knight. I'm actually currently playing that game right now, and I love it.
Oh wow, I have over 100 hours.
Wow. And what about Zelda? Like, did this game have...
Zelda, I did take some inspiration from the first games.
Oh, so the NES games, right?
Yeah, because there were no map in the NES games.
Mm-hmm.
And I did take some inspiration from Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay. That's such a great game to get inspiration from. Okay. That's very, very nice, very nice. I'm glad those games gave you some inspirations. It's always good to take inspirations from great classics like those. So, what kind of music do you listen to that helps you stay productive? Like, what kind of bands, what kind of like genre of music do you listen to?
Actually, it's really weird with me. When I listen to music, I can't do anything.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm like listening to music, I'm fading into the music, and I'm like, what's 1 + 5? And I'm stuck on it until I realize how stupid of a question I am asking.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Some people need music. For me, like whenever I'm working on a project or like a video, I tend to like listen to rock music. But that's just my case. Some people like to work without the music. It's totally fine. You know, I totally understand that. So do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I have mainly programming and art. But
Awesome.
other than that, I used to play hockey. Okay,
Hockey,
for about
nice.
6 to 5 years until I left because of some more reasons. But I still play it on and off. I like climbing.
Oh,
It's fun.
that's so cool.
I like physics and math.
Ooh, interesting. Wow, math. That is so cool. Math for me was a little bit hard in high school, but it's very, very important. Very, very important.
There are like two types of persons: the more like musical and language type guy, and the more like science and programming and math
tech
type of
savvy,
guy.
technical guy as well. Yeah, you're totally right about that. I guess I'm more on the music type of personality that I have, and yeah, that's cool. Some people could be both, you know. Some people can be both. Yeah, like what kind of games you like right now that you're playing?
Right now, let me open my Steam library. I have a lot of games.
I have like 1,000 games.
I have a lot of games. Dark Souls.
Dark Souls
is my absolute best game I ever played.
But like Dark Souls, that's a hard game. I'm too scared to play that.
Oh, Dark Souls 3. I started no level up challenge. You know what it is? Like where you don't level up the character.
That is very challenging.
I got 99% done.
So next question, when working on your game, do you set any deadlines for yourself?
What I'm trying to do is to put the deadlines, but it's hard to keep up with them because I'm always finding like what my workflow is. Let's say what I did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I tried working on new enemies for the second area of the game.
Okay.
With no art, just the enemies. And while coding them, I have like some libraries I built for myself, which I'm using for some of the enemies.
Okay.
I just found out that one of the enemies has a really stupid bug. So I had to fix it for about 2 hours, then I could continue.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
if I set a deadline for myself, I can't work on the important bug fixes. My game is about 1 year old, 11 months, and I started coding about 2 years ago about that. So my progress, like a year ago, I was pretty bad, and I learned a lot from there. Like and now there's a lot of scripts I need to fix every second
um,
and
so,
organize.
like, you said you were coding 2 years ago. Did you use like any YouTube tutorials? Like, did you look up some guides how to like
Yeah,
learn? Um,
completely from the guides. Uh, I like nothing to no traditional learning.
oh,
Just basically Brackeys.
so you basically like learned this on your own. No
Yeah,
schooling, no school, no classes.
I actually had a school on Python, though that was about a year after I started learning, and they go in a pace of like so slow. Python isn't even my main language; it's C sharp.
Okay.
Uh, then, but I'm just so much in I don't so much I like how do
There,
I say it?
there's a
When
lot of
I'm just
information, a lot of information online.
yeah. So what I'm doing in classes, I just I'm learning new languages because I have nothing to do. Yeah, C sharp,
C sharp, okay.
which is my main language. Freecodecamp.org, which do like for a lot of scripting languages, they do tutorials and courses,
Interesting.
mostly courses. Yeah, I
Appreciate
learned
that.
from
Yeah.
them like the basics of a lot of things.
Appreciate that.
Also, when I try to tackle neural networks, uh, I had to take a 12-hour course of calculus.
Oh, calculus. Oh my God.
Yeah, neural
Oh.
networks is basically calculus.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If we're gonna be real here, I've never passed calculus in high school. Like, for me, it was like a extra curriculum, extra course for me in high school, and I took it because I wanted to get like more credits for college when I go to college at the time. I did not do good. Since you mentioned about the bug, I know that you sometimes you experience bugs in your games. Uh,
Yeah.
was there any special moment when working on your game, like you mentioned, like fixing bugs, like anything in particular that made you feel like special when working on your game?
There were a few. Um, First, let me start with a bit of a story. Not a lot of. It helped me a lot with this game.
Okay.
Uh, about a year ago, I started a project which was based on the similar things. It was an island of spirits. Uh, it was in a temple. Like you started in a temple. It was a roguelike, you know. I was a lot worse in coding and stuff like that then, and art and everything. I
Okay.
was quite bad.
It's okay.
When trying to organize, I was super unorganized. Not I am like organized right now. Uh, I had two main folders of assets, which was the like basic folder, which comes with Unity every time, and then another one that I open up. I don't remember for what, but it was like a folder. And accidentally, I don't know how I got to this position, but I accidentally deleted the folder,
It's
and it
okay. I
like
I, I
deleted it from my trash bin. It was half of my project like deleted.
I know that's
Uh,
that's frustrating, but I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm probably sure there's been some developers who have done the same like you do. So like, the best thing you could do in that scenario is just maybe take a step back, and just collect your thoughts, because I know that's a lot of like work that you can lose in a day. So I know for me saying that it's like okay, easier said than done, but it's always best to like take a step back.
Oh, I'm actually glad that that happened.
Really?
Yeah, let me. So I created after that. I searched like how to make backups.
Oh,
I
okay.
started my new project, which was heading in a much better direction, and I looked much into the future.
That's
So
good.
it was like,
So
yeah, it was a lot more organized, planned.
so it was a happy mistake.
Yeah,
Okay.
like for short term, it was like a very bad mistake, but long term, I'm happy
It,
that that happened.
okay, that's good. So you definitely shifted your direction, and it kind of like shines some light on you, basically. Like when this happened, when this terrible thing happened to you, you're like, you know what, this is bad, but I can twist it. I can make it better for myself in the long term.
Right.
Okay, I like that way of thinking. It's a very very good approach. Like whatever you go through in life, and if you have that approach, I think you can accomplish anything. Honestly, call me crazy, but I think you could be the next Jeff Bezos.
Steve Chef Basil.
No, I was about to say Steve Jobs, but
Yeah, the combination.
Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. You could be all of that in one.
Elon Musk,
Elon,
right?
Elon Musk. I like what he's doing. So
Uh,
I'm a big fan of his. What made you want to develop games in the first place?
that's like from the start when I was like really young. I played like some games. Like every time, I played a lot of games, and every time I wanted to make my own.
Okay,
So when I was like really young, I started Scratch like really really young. I think I was
okay,
6, 7 years old. My dad showed me that.
that's very nice. That's very nice. And going forward, since you're doing development now, game development, and you have a passion for doing so, I've seen like other developers go out their way to show their work on social media, like make a video, make a TikTok, and show people and influence people how to like code and to make games and stuff using a certain engine, using a certain mechanic. Do you plan like while working on your game, Land of the Spirits? Do you plan on trying to influence people with social media while you're working on your own game?
I don't really use like social media to influence, but I do in Discord servers. I like hopping in like chat, and I just talk with some people. And some people ask for help, and I help them. If they ask nicely, there's some people that ask like really rudely. I don't know
I
how do
I know.
they like how do they like expect me to help them when they're like really rude?
I know, right? It's annoying. You're doing your
There was
best. Yeah.
one guy that I helped. He was really really nice. I helped him with design, and he did for a school project of his. He was really nice.
When it comes to people, you never know what you'll get. Some people will be nice to you, and then like sometimes they'll another day they'll be terrible to you.
Yeah,
And then there's just people that are overall just really awful.
there was like one guy that I helped for about 2 3 weeks. Uh,
Okay.
there's this guy which is like really nice that I joined his server
Mm-hmm.
because of a Unity package he had, and I
Okay.
wanted to ask for something. I asked like general questions. I asked it was like $15. So I talked about that and I asked like some questions. He said yes, yes. Then when I said I'll buy it, he asked what type of game I'm working on. I said 2D. Then he said you better use this asset, which wasn't his, and he sent me the asset,
Oh,
which is like
not good.
he knew that his package won't fit my game well. Yeah, I asked all the question and I said that I'll buy it because it was like fitting well. Then
Mm-hmm.
he asked if my game is 2D. I said yes. Then he redirected me for another package, which was better for 2D.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And
Uh,
other than that, after that he helped me with a lot of stuff, and like he's in my special thanks in the credits of my game because he helped me like a lot.
that's very
He's a
nice.
really nice guy.
That's very very nice of him to do that. That's good. I think developers should help other developers. I think that's gonna help the process go faster a little bit, and definitely always connect. Try to see who's out there. Connect with people around and go on Twitter, go on social media, Discord, and see who's willing to give advice. Who do you want to help? Sometimes you want to help people as well. So just give a little bit of yourself around and try to help as many people as you could.
Like if you help too many people, many people want to help you.
Yeah, that's how you establish more of a following, a community, and it will definitely help in your case. And more people will share your game and retweet it, and yeah, definitely. I think a community is definitely key when developing a game. So going on to my next question, what is the most time you've ever spent working on your game? Like let's
What do
say
you mean, like
like
hours per day?
no, let's say what was the on one day, like on one day in particular, like what was the most
Oh,
time you ever spent on your game? Like
ah,
did you ever spend like 10 hours in
yeah, I did.
more
There
than
was
that?
one time, like not a lot of time ago, which I was in a vacation for a week, and when you're in a vacation for a week, you have a lot of new ideas popping.
Mm-hmm.
So for 3 days straight, I worked about 8 hours plus
Okay.
to try to like get the stuff I wanted done. There was one day,
Okay.
I think 11 hours.
Oh, 11 hours. Okay. So, yeah, that's sometimes what happen, like 11 hours. Sometimes people do more. Do you think it helps to speed up the process or like to finish a task? Like, do you think like working those hours, like if the more hours that you work on a project or like an asset or like a bug, do you think that will help solve the problem, or do
Think
do you?
more hours that you spend not in a day, I think totally. Because if you like now be 24 hours on like one problem,
Yeah,
uh,
it's tiring.
then you'll have like 2 days that you'll be exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
You
Very
can
true.
just work like 8 hours a day and you'll get like the same result
Yeah, very very true.
for 3 days, and you won't be like exhausted and feeling like crap because I couldn't do anything for 2 days.
Sometimes you just need a break. You just need to
Yeah,
sit down and just relax a little bit, right?
you just not that like working too much. It's called a burnout.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
it's not good.
that actually leads me to my next question. So, video game development can be a tiring process. How do you keep yourself from burning out?
Oh well, it's I'm a different person from other people, but I have such a passion for my game.
Very nice.
I think like if I work 12 hours a day for a week, I wouldn't be burned out.
Okay.
I just there are some times where uh I don't remember the name. Art block, something like that.
Writer's block. Yeah.
Yeah, that it happened to me recently when I was like no, there's a better example when I was coding the boss.
Oh.
I didn't know like what should it be, and for a lot of time I tried and tried and tried, and I spent a lot of time just doing nothing because I kept deleting what I've done.
Yeah. Sometimes bugs can get like really frustrating to figure out. So I have never experienced that, but I can understand you from an emotional standpoint that it might have been like very tiring for you to go through that. Because if that was me, that would definitely tire me out. So yeah, it's definitely inspiring that you're very passionate about this, and so that is very motivating to hear that. Other developers are going to hear this and hear what you said, and they're going to be like, "Wow, he's very passionate," and it's going to motivate them as well to keep at it, keep at what they're doing with their work and their games and all that. So it's good to hear that. It's good to hear that from you.
I really hope it does help people.
I think you're doing a lot. Like you're definitely going to influence a lot of people for sure. When working on your game, did you expect your game to take a certain amount of time to complete when you first started? Because like when I say that sometimes developers, game developers, they underestimate their work.
Totally. It happens to everybody. Someone actually said it. It said, take your time that you think you'll code about a week, let's say, and triple it. Another thing he said, like he said, there's 3 dimensions for a game that like you think you're 70% done, then another axis is opened, then you're just 40% done. If my game like was as planned, I was going to finish it right now.
Oh,
Not happening.
around right now, summertime.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a year.
Okay, okay. And do you think you're going to be releasing the game anytime soon, or do you need some more time?
Another year or so, maybe more.
Okay, okay. I think that's fine. Maybe, maybe that's good. Sometimes developers don't really know the true release date, so they give themselves some room to breathe, basically.
Especially when the release is so like scary. Like
Yeah,
you when you have like the release button, you plan everything, everything is done. You go, you spend another month just tweaking such small stuff because it's so scary to release a game.
yeah, but like there's mainstream developers who get away with that. Like they will basically release their game on the first day. Have a lot of problems, a lot of glitches, a lot of bugs, and then they will say like, "Oh, we're gonna patch it out. Don't worry." So
But that's not good at all.
that's not.
The first impression is the like imagine there's a reviewer who who you send him the game, okay, for free. He plays it and he says to everybody, the game is full of bugs. Then nobody will want to buy it. Even if you patch them, the first impression is like the most important one.
I I agree 120%. Like, because when you release a game on the first day, I'm not saying it should be perfect. I'm not saying it should, because like every game has its flaws or like issues. I'm just saying, like, if you release a game and like the character is going upside down all over the place, just broken, it's not a good impression. It's not a good impression at
Uh,
all. And I believe a lot of indie game developers, like they think so much about their game that they're willing to wait it out. Cause like compared to like some mainstream AAA titles, AAA game developers, they release their game and they're like, okay, whatever, we'll figure it out. And I don't think that's a good business practice at all.
the problem is a lot of places you can't compare like AAA games and
Mm-hmm.
like indie games. Indie games, the first impression is the most like a lot more important because no one heard about like a huge like a franchise. No one heard about your like company.
Because they have a big
Uh,
reputation. They have like the money to back it all up.
yeah, you just if the first gameplay of your game is bad, nobody will want to play it. Even if you like you fixed everything, you made it one of the best games after some time.
Okay.
It won't like it'll have like a lot of
Hmm.
lower chance to succeed.
Do you think that's the point where people decide I want to buy this game or not? Like when it comes to game trailers, or Do you think a demo? Sometimes developers will release a demo and people will check it out. So what do you think? What do you think is important? Like when people watch your trailer for your game, like what do you think about it?
I actually don't really have a trailer yet because I don't have all of the areas done.
Mm-hmm.
I want the thing with trailers. I watched like a lot of how to make a trailer. I read a lot of things. I watched a lot of trailers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, One of the most like important things with trailers is to have different stuff in the trailer. If you see a game which is all green, you think like, oh, this game has so little. Every cut, everything is to the same area, to the same enemies.
Okay.
If there's a game which with a lot of different colors, different areas, and you switch them up, people will think, oh, this game has a lot of content. It has a lot of to show. Like you can watch every trailer. They won't want to show the same area twice. Like they
Okay.
want to spread it out.
So, like for me, I'm a consumer, and I'll tell you exactly like what I look for in a trailer or like a demo, but it's based on my personal taste. I really like games that are vibrant, colorful, and the main focus is like when you see a character and there's like an ambition, there's a reason why the character exists and why they're in the game in the first place. Story, plot is very important. Um, just seeing what the trailer is all about, and just getting a really good understanding of what you're going to get into when you're looking at the trailer. That's very important to me.
If the game is not like finished enough and polished enough,
Mm-hmm.
people will think that this is what the game has, and maybe people didn't enjoy your demo, but they will enjoy your game.
Yeah.
But they play your demo and they don't like it.
Yeah.
So they don't play your game, even though the game they will like it. So that's why I changed my demo format to more of a beta testing. You need to sign up with your email, so I'll have better feedback, have more control on who's playing the game and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So it's always good to get feedback from people. What's your thoughts on early access?
It's mixed. It depends on the game.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to pay for a game which is not done,
Yeah. Okay.
and have to believe in the developers to finish it up. And I paid for the full game, and I don't get the full game.
I know. It's hard. It's
If
very risky.
if the early access itself is really good, this is the good position where you're like, oh, I get free updates.
But you paid for it though. So yeah, sometimes early access could work out for the developer, and sometimes it could backfire on them. So it really is what you decide to do in the end that's going to make or break your game, depending on players' reception and their feedback on it.
One thing I can say is the problem with some developers taking feedback, like if you get feedback from one player which you don't agree with, and it's just with one player,
Mm-hmm. That's totally fine.
I won't implement it. It happened to me sometimes, like people I like said something, and I don't believe like it actually, if there's like a small portion of the people who wants a thing which doesn't seem like a good change for me, I won't implement it.
That's totally fine. I think when it comes to player base and reception and your own opinion on your game, I think there needs to be a middle ground where you, as the indie game developer and players, see eye to eye on a common problem. So if you see a problem and the players who are playing your game see the same problem and they mention it to you, I think that's where you have to say to yourself, that's a valid point. They're making good. They're explaining themselves really well to me, and I think I need to get on this and fix it right away.
I think you need some game developers to test your game, to give a technical feedback.
Mm-hmm.
You need like gamers of that genre, of the people who notice more, who care more.
Yes, yes.
Then you need from the casual players. That if that's the most important thing, I think one of the most important things.
Let me ask you a question on top of that. Would you set up like questionnaires and polls to send out to players so they can give you direct feedback on your game?
It's actually a feedback like for not forum, Google Forms, right?
Google
I
Forms.
have a Google Forms from feedback.
Okay.
Which that's one of the reasons I decided to open beta testing, because the response, even though I had it in the end of the demo and in the menu of the demo to give feedback, only 5 people gave feedback. 2 of them were my friends, so
Okay.
it was like
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't like a good feedback portion.
Even if it's your friends, it's still valid. Like they're telling you what's right and what's wrong, what they like and what they don't like about the game. I think it's fine. You know, I just think you got to get yourself out there and show your game on social media. This is just for everybody in general who are making games. The more people find your game, there's definitely gonna be more feedback for sure. Um, you know, and I think Twitter is definitely the way. That's how I found you. You found me through Twitter, right? The indie game developing community is super passionate.
Yeah.
This was just an idea for me, you know, because like I've been making YouTube videos for a while now, and you know, there's sometimes I feel burned out. I feel burnt out because you know, I make a video, I work really hard on it, and I get like 20 views, and it's like, damn, crazy. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
On YouTube, you need to like keep going until like it takes so much time to get the first push, but after the first push, it's so easy to climb up.
Oh my god, you gotta push harder. It's the passion that drives us.
Yeah.
You know, because without passion, it's hard to finish projects, and so we need to keep motivating ourselves every day, day by day. So definitely, you know. Now, speaking about passion, let's talk about the opposite thing of that. Name one thing about game development that you dread the most.
I made most of the SFX, not like really made them. I used some programs and stuff. Making art, I like making art, but there's sometimes where I just...
It takes a while, right?
When I make art, it's really weird for me. When I start, like, let's say I have a concept, okay, of a night.
Mm-hmm.
I start and I'm drawing like really bad. After a few hours of drawing, I get the shape on the stuff like how I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can start actually drawing. I like to animate. Animate is like really interesting, but you can't animate with no characters.
Yeah, like you need a design, like a concept.
Yeah.
So getting sound effects and doing the character design sometimes the drawing itself is something that you dread when making your game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also making repetitive like scripts.
Oh, okay. That's another thing.
The most like the thing I most enjoy is making new stuff. So when there's something I want to code or like to program, which I need to learn like a lot of things to do, I really enjoy it.
That's very nice. That's very good. You should always find inspiration and find creativity when making new things like that. That's definitely gonna help you keep working harder. So
Yeah.
it really does outweigh the things that you dread versus the things that you like to do. Who's the biggest motivation in your life? What keeps you going?
Uh, Let me think. Like, of course, my parents
Uh,
and my friends. But other than that,
Very
I
nice.
guess uh, many. Actually, one funny story. When Brackeys said he's stopping, Brackeys, you know him. But there's like one YouTuber which is was like one of the best. It was one of the biggest YouTubers for
What kind of content does he make?
he's making like YouTube tutorials. He was the one that I started like because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually he said he'll stop, and I almost teared up when
Oh no, he got burned out.
no, not burned out. He just wanted to
Take a
start more things,
Okay.
and I get him. I get him. But he was like really responsible. He has 1 million, like 1.3 million subs.
Wow, that's a
Uh,
lot.
and he had like a giant Discord server, which is still running.
It's so
But
cool.
he keeps everything running. One of the things he said when he left is that he doesn't want his that he left to like demotivate passionate people,
Wow.
and he succeeded. The Discord server is still running. I'm active in it, and the community is still running.
It definitely seems that he's impacted your life and so many other people as well. His tutorial has definitely shaped you and your work for sure.
Yeah, his tutorial is the first one I watched.
Okay, we just have a couple more questions left.
Okay.
How you feeling so far? You're enjoying this?
Yeah.
That was a solid yes. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's say, do you see yourself working for a specific company, or do you want to like solely work for yourself? Do you see yourself growing more and more like in the next couple of years, or do you want to work on other projects, other types of games?
It's really weird for me. I'm not sure
That's
if I
okay.
want to work like alone or not. They have like both have like really big positive
Mm-hmm.
and negatives.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the ideal situation is that I'll open like a game studio or something like that,
I hope you
or
do.
join a small one.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a corporation is just not very fun
I
for
know.
me. There
So
are different types of people.
so you definitely want to open up your own studio. Um,
Yeah, I'd love to.
do you see like working on mobile games as something you want to do in the future?
Oh yeah, I want it.
And
After I finish my game, I'll not work on many, just one, two for fun.
okay, that's good. That looks very
This
nice.
is me, Charles Wolf, who made the music. Antonella Uso. I don't know how to pronounce it. He helps me in the writing. There's these buttons which I like.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
You made all this.
Yeah.
Wow. Like seriously, wow. Do you have any special message that you want to tell future indie game developers? Like you told me that that YouTuber inspired you. Now,
Yeah,
how can you
Brackeys.
inspire others?
I say, firstly, there's a funny story, which when you start, everything it feels more large and like more impactful.
Mhm.
When I started, I tried to follow a tutorial and I couldn't like get one of the easiest parts. Just I was stupid. I get like
You're not
some
stupid.
errors, which I understand like nothing. And I like almost gave up. Then there's like one part of me who said like I want to make games, and I just got that part right, which was I think putting a name for the float. It was like the simplest thing, but it impacted me like a lot.
That's good.
I think the most important thing, which I see my friends that I try to teach sometimes that they want, everyone gives up. A lot of people give up, and they want it. The most important message is to not give up.
That's very good. That's a great message. Never give up, even though you feel like your hands tied to the wall. I think maybe just try to see things in another light. And when things get hard, look at it as a challenge instead of a chore, right?
Yeah.
Last question, and you got to be honest with me here. What are your top 5 favorite video games at the moment?
Okay. Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Top spot.
Top spot.
Hollow Knight second.
Hollow Knight, I love that game.
Then I think let's see, Celeste.
Ooh. Very nice.
Let me see another one. I forgot. I can't find it. Where is it? Oh yeah. It's Enter the Gungeon.
Enter the Gungeon. That's a good one.
Yeah, and it will be quite odd, but I have about like 2,000 hours in CS:GO.
Oh, that's not odd. I mean, something that makes you happy. That's really that matters.
Yeah, it's odd like compared to the other games. It's because when I played Hollow Knight the first time, it changed everything in me. Hollow Knight was the main inspiration for actually like making games.
Wow, Hollow Knight.
And it changed like after Hollow Knight I started like playing indie games and more interesting games, not like only FPS games and stuff like that.
Call of Duty and all that. Yeah, it could get tiring for sure. So that was awesome. How you feeling right now?
I'm great.
It
was fun.
This was really fun. I really enjoyed it. This was actually my first interview doing this. What kind of platforms do you see your game, Land of the Spirits, being available on?
I like have versions for like all the PC versions, like not PC, like PC, Mac, and Linux. I have versions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
if the game does well, I don't consider how much money I got. I consider like the reviews. So if the game does well, I'll publish in Xbox and PlayStation, and possibly Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, Nintendo Switch. Surprisingly, a lot of people play indie titles on Switch. Like,
yeah, I know that. I have a Nintendo Switch actually.
Oh man, there's so many players that love to play indie titles, especially that you could play it on the go too. Well, there you have it. Like, that was awesome. My name is SpiritBuddy, and I thank you all for tuning in. Today we got to know a little bit about Ameidex, and it was such a great experience for me and for everyone watching and for Ameidex himself. I'm going to link his game on Steam, and I'm going to link his social media if you guys want to contact them as well. But I want to thank you all for watching today's video. I will see you on the next one. Do you want to say anything before we close?
I like lasagnas.
You like lasagna? Here we go. I like lasagna too. I love watching Garfield eat lasagna. Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
Goodbye.
Take care. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.